Welcome, everybody. It is my pleasure to be with you today in this Big Five Summit event. I'm Pablo Lledó. I'm a PMI Board of Director member, and I would like to show you some research that we have done in the recent, very recently about construction, and I want to share which is the PMI the strategy related to the construction sector. So I don't know how much can I talk about construction because you are the expert, the subject matter expert about construction. There in Dubai, I have been there and I have seen those amazing projects that you have there. It's like the Burj Khalifa or the Solar Park, the Museum of the Future, and so on and so on and so on. I remember being there in the biggest tower, in the biggest museum, in the biggest everything. So you are the subject matter expert of construction, but I want to give you just some tips of what's going on in PMI about this construction sector. And I remember one of the experiences when I was there, and I was asking with some of my colleagues and saying, hey, how do you define the success of that biggest tower of the world? And he said, oh, very easily. We just need to build the biggest tower, as easy as that. And I was in the middle of that desert in Dubai, watching that huge tower. I say, oh my God, these guys, they really know about construction. So congratulations, because of all those wonderful things that you have in your place. And let me talk a little bit about what are we doing in PMI. So for the ones who are not aware of the Project Management Institute, we are a global association with huge number of people around the world, like more than 1.6 million people have certified in certifications regarding project management. We have offices that we call it chapters all over the world. Almost in every country around the world, we have some Project Management Institute chapter, and so on and so on and so on, members and many things. What I find lovely about this organization that I joined several years ago is the networking, is the global network of peers. So if I have any problem or I need to find out any new tool about the project management, I go into this network and I find the answer anywhere around the world. So this is the, for me personally, is the most important asset that we have in PMI. In the last year, as we all know, this ecosystem of projects has changed drastically. Yeah, suddenly there was someone called COVID-19. It came inside all of us, and it really changed the way of working. Yeah, in the way that we have been working in the past is not the way that we need to be working in the future, and we are calling this never normal. It's never gonna be the same way as in the past, and this is impacting every single kind of project. Also, of course, construction projects are impacted by that. So in the presentation, the research that I'm going to talk about, or the thing that we are doing right now with PMI, is also included this never normal world in the one that we are living right now. And if I ask you a question about how are you changing the way of working in the construction sector, we can see that in construction in the past almost 50 years, yeah, from 1950 to 2000, the best way of developing construction projects was waterfall. Yeah, if we make a very good plan and we execute exactly that plan, we are going to have a great deliverable. We can close that project, get the lessons learned, and use those lessons learned for the next project. This has been the way of working from 1950 to 2000, especially in construction projects. And it worked very well. Even today, that waterfall ecosystem of working with projects in construction projects, they keep working, they keep having a good fit. However, the work has evolved, and from 2000 to 2020, we have the technology revolution, and just working with the waterfall, a good plan, a very good plan to execute that plan, and in order to get that deliverable, it doesn't fit to all the projects. So projects, for example, related with development of softwares, and this waterfall approach doesn't have a very good fit, so they move very, very fast into the agile approach. Yeah, so we need to plan a little bit, execute a little bit, develop a little bit, and after 15 weeks, we can change the plan again, execute again, and develop a little bit again. And all these agility things has been evolving in the last, let's say, 20 years. Right now, which is the new evolution of the project, is hyper agility. Yeah, hyper agility, the citizen developer revolution. What does that mean? Anyone in your organization who doesn't have any IT knowledge, who is not a programmer, who is not a keen in this kind of technological things, can develop an application to help with the project. Yeah, and that application, that mini or small project, can be developed in a week. Yeah, a couple of days. So you have a solution that we can call it a mini project to help all the other projects, even if you're working with waterfall projects or agility project. PMI has been evolving in the same way that the project has been evolving. So if you take a look at our evolution in the past, from 1950 to 2000, the most important certification that we were having in our portfolio in order to help project managers was the PMP, the Project Management Professional. Many of you, I heard, that already have that certification. Today, if you want to go for that PMP certification, you are not gonna know only about waterfall way of working. You need to know as well agility way of working. You need to know about agility. So if you sit into exam today, 50% of the question will be regarding waterfall, and the other 50% of the question will be regarding agility. Because even in the construction projects, I don't know any project around the world that they don't need some agility thinking. Yeah. So this hybrid approach of, okay, you need a waterfall approach for this huge construction project that you are taking on. However, there are going to be for sure some parts of that project that they will be related with IT, they will be related with technology, they will be related with digitalization. And for those pieces of your project, you will need agility, you will need hyper agility. So if you want to be a good project manager in the construction sector, it's not enough the waterfall approach. Keep using the waterfall approach, because it's very, very important, but complement that approach with technology, with agility, with hyper agility. So today in PMI, we are keep focusing in the project manager. We are keep developing our waterfall approach, but we are also including new things like discipline agile, lots of certification regarding the agility world, wicked problem solving, very, very practical tools in order to help the discipline agile atmosphere, and citizen developer, another certification related with this hyper agility. So there are many new certifications in our portfolio right now, because we are helping not just the project manager, but anyone who is involved in the projects. And those who are involved in the projects, we call it chain makers. In Dubai, the project that I showed you at the beginning is a real example of chain makers. You are chain makers, and we are helping the project managers and all those people related into that project in order to have a successful project working all together. So now the question, and I know that you have the chat, some of you are here with me right now, so let's make some trivia. I'm going to ask you some questions during this presentation. You don't have negative points, so please put something in the chat so we can play a little bit in this presentation. So the first question for you is, who led the digital transformation of your company? Very easy answers. A, the CEO, B, the CTO, C, COVID-19. Go ahead. Okay, I'm seeing the answer right now in the chat, and yes, of course, most of you have the right answer. This is the one who has been dealing the digital transformation and all these super fast changes that we have been doing in the past year. So we have been working with digitalization and technology inside the construction projects. But when COVID hit us, we accelerate the speed of doing these kind of things inside the project. So all of you have the right answer. Let me show you some recently research that we've done in September last year. So we went to 14,000 people with the PMP certification working in the construction industry. Yeah, we went to that huge amount of people that they are all over the world. Yeah, North America, Latam, EMEA, India, China, Asia Pacific, all over the world, Dubai, of course. And we ask a very easy question, a single question that say, okay, today, and they were in the middle of COVID. Yeah, most of them were in the middle of COVID. So today, how many of you are experiencing problems related with project delays, with scope creep, or with over budget? And we ask that question. And before I show you the number, before I show you the answer, again, I want to see your answers in the chat. And you have 4 options now. Option 1 is the answer will be around problems around 25%. Second question, B, is around 50%. C is around 75%. And D is around 100%. So what do you think was the answer at that particular point in time? 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%? Go ahead. Come on, I want to see your answers to see if you are close or not. Okay, good. Okay, not so good. And the winner is the ones who answer around 75%. Amazing. Imagine that if all your projects have this kind of problems, like around 70% to 75% of project delays, scope creep, over budget. Okay, that was a very particular moment in time of COVID, of pressure, of many things, and that was the number. If we ask a different question and we ask them, okay, in the last 12 months, how many of the projects that you have in the portfolio has been delayed or have some scope creep on over budget? The numbers are not so bad, okay? Those numbers are 43% for project delays, 30% for scope creep, and 40% for over budget. So they're not so bad, but they are really bad. Yeah. So many times we say that you are not having a successful project if you fail in any of these things. So imagine that if we keep improving the way of working to have this number a little smaller. It's not going to be 0. It's never going to be 0, but it can be much better than the numbers that I'm presenting right now. Another question for you. For every dollar you are spending in construction projects, how much do you think you are wasting? Yeah, from that dollar that you are spending in a construction project, how much of that dollar is wasted? Yeah, it's a very total inefficient way of working. Go to the chat. The answers around 5%. That's A. Answer B is around 10% of waste. Then you can answer around 20% or around 30%. Okay, from 5% to 30% should be the answers in the chat. Go ahead. I want to see your answers to see how close you are. Okay. The ones answering around 10% have the right answer. So the survey showed that 12.7% of each dollar that you are investing in a construction project is a totally waste. So imagine if we find new way of working to be more efficient in our construction project. That means that let's imagine that someday we can be totally efficient. That means that with the same resources that we have today, we can have almost 13% more projects with the same resources. Yeah, with the same amount of investment, we can do 13% more of what we are doing today. So there is a great opportunity in all our construction projects to be more efficient and to start doing more with less. And this is what we are helping in the Project Management Institute. We are doing different things to help to have this number in a much better direction. But the most important thing that I have in my mind, at least personal, is like many times we suffer when we see those numbers, delays, scope creep, over budget, and so on. But we forget that the most important number to see successful, if we are successful or not, is if our projects are delivering the objective. That construction project is doing the objective that is supposed to be doing, is delivering the benefits that is supposed to be delivering. And that's the key question of success, because I have seen several examples around the world that, okay, we didn't do very well with scope, we didn't do very well with the budget, we didn't do very well with the schedule. However, that project is delivering much more benefits than the one that I expect. So I love that project, I will do it again, and I don't care about if I was delay or over budget. So that's the most important question that you should always ask in the way that you are delivering those construction projects. At the end of the day, is that project doing what it's supposed to be doing? And here I have another number for you. That number, the most recently number in construction projects, is that 26% of the construction projects are not delivering the objective, are not completing the objectives that they supposed to be completing. And that's very, very important. We should focus on that first. Of course, all the other things are important, but remember, we are doing this project because we want to have this deliverable doing this kind of benefit. Could be social benefits, it doesn't mean to be money, could be social benefit, could be impact. And that's the most important thing of any of the construction project that you are working on. So let me show you some numbers, some highlights of the effects of COVID-19. I'm gonna focus only on 7 of them. There are many others, but 7 of them that we highlight in the research that we are doing in the Project Management Institute. Number 1 is it has been a huge reshape in the type of projects. Those projects related with hospitality, retail, entertainment, they have shifted to more projects related to infrastructure, transportation, health and care. So this is tip number 1 of what's happened after COVID. Number 2 is worker safety. All these construction projects that many of them are working off-site because not all the employees can go inside. They keep working, they have to keep working. So it has been a completely change of working of how we are dealing with those employees or working regarding safety. Virtual meetings, nothing to add about that. All of you are very familiar of keep moving the project with a lot of virtual meetings. However, you were having some problems to have the meeting with the client, the one who is asking for that construction project, the one that you want to sell your product or services, when you need to sign that contract, and we were having some problems. So the technology, this virtual technology, has been evolving very, very fast into that particular problem of put the project with the client in a virtual atmosphere in order to make things happen. And it's working pretty well. Even in this, that we cannot do it in person, it's working pretty well. Number 4, a huge change or acceleration, because this has been happening before COVID, but with COVID, that has a huge acceleration of working with modularization and prefabrication. We don't need to do all the project inside. We can do many parts of the project off-site in different places, and then we move all those components into the project, and this has been huge evolution in that kind of working, with a lot of saving costs, with a lot of shortened schedule. So it has been proved during COVID that is a great way of working in the construction industry. Number 5 says digital supply network. So it has been a lot of digitalization in supply vendors. So we need to be much more efficient than in the past to move all these parts to the projects into the place of the project. Number 6 is all the things about automatization, robotics, repetitive steps. For example, we are seeing those robots who are doing all the bricklaying. Amazing, in a so fast speed of working, they are doing the bricklaying. Or the drones, we are seeing drones doing the inspection in the project, so we have a lot of much more safety and so on. And I can keep telling you many other changes, but I focus only in those 7 highlights. The other one is artificial intelligence. How is this helping us to have much more safe in the work environment? How we are tracking workers to prevent accidents and those kind of things. So these are the 7 highlights that I have chosen today to present you about the COVID impact in the construction atmosphere. More numbers. Technology and digitalization. So how is this impacting our construction sector? Okay, many numbers here in this slide, like 80% of the vendors or constructors are using mobile apps to access project data and collaboration. So I'm seeing an opportunity here. Why 18%? I'm sure that soon it's going to be 100%. So there is an opportunity here of way of working. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, citizen developer, anyone in your construction project can develop an app in order to work and collaborate with all the other people in the organization. 63% are already using drones. I'm sure very soon 100% of you will be using drones in your construction project. 37% expect to adopt equipment tagging by 2022. So, and 2022 is just now, so a fast move in that area. 33% are expecting to use wearable technology in the next 3 years. Yeah, so it's not just mobile, but many other wearable technology that you are going to be using. Already 75% are using cloud storage. 95% of all the data that capture in the construction and engineering using goes unused. And that's very bad. So here I'm seeing that we have another great opportunity to start using all the data that we are capturing, start using with artificial intelligence, with robotics and those kind of technologies, use it and have a much better learning for the next step that we're going to do, and so on and so on. I don't want to bother you with this slide. You can take a snapshot here and you can ask start writing your question that I can answer at the end of this presentation. And the other number here, 59% doesn't have workforce skills. And that's very important for PMI. Yeah. So one of the things that we are doing in the Institute is not just research, this kind of numbers that I'm presenting you, but how we can help the construction industry in this kind of problem of workforce skills, lack of workforce skills, to apply it in BIM, or lack of staff to support technology, on lack of staff to understand how the construction industry is evolving and how these new ways of working are being introduced in the construction industry. And there is where we are helping you with PMI. What else I have for you? For example, BIM. Yeah, there was some statistic about the BIM, the building information modeling. For example, PMI has written case studies specific to this area, specific to BIM. So if you search, or if you join PMI, or if you are in PMI and you start searching or Googling about the BIM, there are several PMI case studies of which are the lessons learned of using BIM into the construction industry. This is just one example of the many things that we are doing. So I don't want to talk just about PMI search. There are many other very important firms around the world who are doing similar search in construction. I want to show you now some highlights of McKinsey. Yeah, so what they have found in the construction, and some of those findings are very similar than the findings that we are finding inside PMI. So let's bear in mind the construction industry is the biggest industry in the world. Yes, 13% of the GDP of the global world is the construction sector. So this is good news for the ones who are working in this sector. However, if we take a look at the past 20 years, the construction sector has not been evolving very well, or let's say it has been a very slow growth in the construction sector. Only 1% per year has been that growth. But we should not care about that. And so the good news is there is an opportunity to grow in a much faster pace. And the bad news are not seeing any bad news, because even if we keep in that small growth, 1% per year, the construction sector is so big that there are so many opportunities. For example, in 2019, there was $100 billion related to just infrastructure projects. Yeah, so if we take a look, only an infrastructure project, 100 billion in 1 year. So we can keep moving slow, but we are going to keep having huge projects, a lot of money to keep investing in the construction sector. For example, 69.4 trillion in global infrastructure investment will be needed through 2035. Yeah, so in the next 10 to 15 years, there's going to need a need of a lot of construction projects. And again, they put the skilled labor problem. Yeah, they say that there are shortages, have become a major issue, and retention will drain the talent. Yeah, so we have a major issue today of skilled labor in the construction projects, but this is going to be even worse because of retirement. Just in the United States, they estimate that the workforce is expected to retire by 2035. 41% of the actual workforce in the construction sector is going to be retired pretty soon. So this is going to make the problem even bigger. And again, here we are. PMI is here to help you in this problem that has been highlighted everywhere around the construction sector. The other thing that they highlight the McKinsey report is that the construction projects are not as easy. I think they were never easy, but they're not as easy as in the past. They have become increasingly complex, with the growing share of mega projects now are over $1 billion. So we need to bear in mind that the new ways of working are coming for these increasingly complex construction projects. And finally, one of the things that I like in this McKinsey report, that they say that companies that can adjust their business models stand to benefit handsomely, while others may struggle to survive. So I'm sure that all of you who are in this mega event, you are here not because you want to survive. You are here because you understand that you are implementing this new way of working, and you're going to go and be very successful and take all the opportunities that we have in the construction market or industry right now. So let me, in my last minutes of the presentation, then we go for the question and answer, let me show you how is the PMI vision related to this particular sector. But let me go overall first. Which is the PMI vision or strategy right now? We are talking about the PMI 4.0 strategy. So which are the changes of that strategy regarding to the past 50 years? One of the main strategy is that the new ways of working is not just waterfall. There are agility, there is hyper agility, and there are many other ways of working than the waterfall. So, and this is very, very embedded in our 4.0 strategy. The other thing that we are doing is we are not focusing just in project managers. Of course, project managers are our core. Of course, project manager will keep having a lot of tools, of things, of research, because they are our core. Our institute, Project Manager Institute, our name is embedded in our IDN. But we are not stopping there. We are going through the chain makers. All those people around the projects that they don't consider themselves project managers, but they need the project management tools in order to have a successful project. So we are going into that arena as well. In the construction sector, the strategy, the 4.0 strategy, is related to the thing that I have here in screen. So one is innovative learning methods, new ways of working for the construction sector. And the other thing that we are doing is we are building networks. We are subject matter expert in networking. We are all over the world. We have volunteers all over the world. We have chapters all over the world. So what we are doing right now is, okay, let's use all that powerful network that we have around the world, and let's make some focus group, some forums, some expert panels specific in construction. So in the PMI 4.0 strategy, we have identified some sectors, some particular sectors that we are going to help them in a different way. It's not going to be like in the past, okay, project managers are not all the same. No, project managers in the construction sectors are different than project managers in the IT sectors, than project managers in the health industry, and so on. So we are keep helping all project managers, and now we are focusing in particular industry. And in this particular industry that is construction, we are building forums, we are building networks, we are doing many things. And with that networking, we ask them, because we are not expert in construction. And we know that this is our weakness. We are an expert in project management. We are expert in new ways of working, but we are not expert in construction. So how we can start helping the construction industry if we are not expert? Very easily. In the 4.0 strategy, we have that vision of the coalition of association. We cannot do all these kind of things by ourselves. We need many partners around the world to make it happen. And in this slide, I'm showing you just an example of who are the partners working today with PMI in order to help us to develop all the resources for the construction sector. So, for example, you can see AME, you can see Saudi Aramco, you can see the lean construction industry, and many other construction institutes are in this slide, and a lot of experts all over the world, all around the world are these experts, and they are the ones helping us or working all together in a collaborative approach in order to say, okay, what do the construction industry needs right now in this particular time? Which are the new ways of working they need? Which are the specific areas they need to focus on? And with all of them, we have already finished our PMI professional in built environment projects. There are online courses here. There are micro-certification. What is that? Okay, you don't need to be studying several months to have a full certification. You can have micro-certification, lighter certification in specific topics of the construction sector. And after you end up several of those micro-certification, you will have that huge certification. So you can do this in an agility way of studying. Instead of studying 6 months to have those huge certification, you studied a couple of weeks, you have a micro certification in a specific topic, then you have another micro certification, and when you add all those micro certification, you will be almost ready to have that certification in the construction industry. So this course was under development. Now not the full course is complete, but it's ready. It's in our website. You can go there into the construction side of the PMI, and you will find our partners, as I mentioned today, and you will find something concrete that you can do right now, today. For example, from the 7 online courses, 2 of them are ready, are live. There are 3 micro certifications on the program. 1 of them is ready right now. You can go for that micro certification. And the PMI Professional in Built Environment Projects certification, that will be like specific PMPs for the construction sector, is under development into this course. So which are the courses that you can join just now? And it was not PMI the one who decided, okay, we are going to start with these two. No, it was our partners said, okay, we are in need of all the communication about the construction sector. That there are most of the problems, most of the failures in the construction projects are because of lack of good communication. So we need specific tools and for that particular area. Okay, we hear that need in the market. We've done it. It's ready. Yeah, you have a Build Environment Project Communication Pro. That's the online course, and that online course will end up with a micro certification. So you will have a micro certification after you complete that course. And the other one that they say, okay, we should start right now as soon as possible, was about the scope and change order management. So there are many problems in the construction sector about that. So we have already that course is in place. Which are the other 4 courses under development, working with our partner, which to see the big picture. So the other the courses under development right now is related to the interface and management of the construction project, things about performance management, how we can measure performance in the construction project. The other course is related with planning and execution, but specific planning for the construction project, including the new ways of working. Could be waterfall, but it could be hybrid. There are agility into the construction projects as well. There is lean in the construction project as well. The other course is related to contracts and risks. And the last course will be related to technology and innovation. As I mentioned before, it was not PMI the one who said, okay, this is what the construction sector needs. Was our coalition of association, was all those partners around the world, the ones who are saying, these are the most important needs if we want to have project managers with a certification in the construction sectors. These are the most important needs that we are hearing from all over the world. So to end up this session and go for the Q&A part, we have in our 4.0 strategy of PMI, we are saying always that we are powering people to make ideas a reality. And what a better way of make that idea into a reality than construction projects. Very concrete, very real, very tangible. So congratulations to all of you who have chosen your career path in that excellent industry. I have been working in consulting for more than 15 years, and most of the consulting thing that I was doing was related to construction projects, and I really, really love it. It's a great way of making ideas a reality. So this is all from my side. Now I'm opening here for question and answers. Grace will be helping me for any operational question about the details inside PMI. And I hope I will have another expert in the construction sector to help me in specific question of the construction sector. I'm an economist, okay? So even if I have some experience doing consulting in construction, most of my experience is in the fintech, yeah? All the financial parts of the project, this is my expertise, and I can help you with those kind of questions. With the other question, I will see who can help me with the audience. Thank you very much for your attention. It has been a pleasure, but I'm not leaving now. Let's keep moving with the question and answer session.
Thank you so much for this insightful presentation, Pablo. Hello, everyone. This is Manali from the Big Five team. Hope you enjoyed the presentation. We have some interesting questions which have come in from the audience for you, Pablo. Should we get started?
Yes, of course. Thank you very much, Manali, and I hope you have enjoyed this presentation.
I definitely did. We have, I think, around 4 to 5 questions, and if we'll wait for the audience towards the end and see if we get more. The first one I have is, businesses are operating in dynamic and uncertain contexts, even more so now in response to COVID-19. How has this impacted the way project managers approach project management?
That's a very good question, and I think that question came at the beginning of my presentation. In the first slides, that question arrived. So most of the answer, I guess, I got it in the presentation, because one of the main topic of the presentation was exactly that. How is it changing the way of working in the construction sector? But if I can make a summary, a very brief summary of the main changes, I think one is related to the work remotely instead of working inside. We have been used to work inside, to work in our offices, to work all together, to touch each other, and this has changed dramatically. So even if in the past there were some remote teams, now in the present they are all remote teams, and this is a big change, who have some challenges but some opportunities as well. Today is so easy to get a team member from wherever around the world. The mindset has changed completely, that, they need to come to live here in this place, so we are all together in the office, working together and having more productivity. This has changed completely, and it's an opportunity, and it's working well. There are very good examples that you can access to knowledge, to very smart people from wherever they are in the world, and they join this remote team, and we make the things happen, and we make projects, some of them better than in the past. And this is happening even in the construction project. So this is one of the big impacts and opportunities for project managers. That's one summary. And the other one that I'm seeing is, it was a huge acceleration from the traditional way of working, waterfall, from the agile work of working. And that doesn't mean that waterfall is not necessary anymore. No, and not in construction, in the construction sector. In the construction sector, we are seeing that waterfall is still very important. We need to plan, we need to have a huge knowledge of the plan of what we want to deliver. But in the middle of that plan, we need to be more agile in our mindset, and we need to start using those tools of agility, and we have many of them in PMI. So I'm seeing a big acceleration in another arena as well. So these are the two things: that work offsite, learn to work offsite, and much more speed in knowledge about this agile way of working without losing the waterfall. And Grace, I don't know if you want to add anything extra into that question.
Yes, I can add a bit of advanced focus on work safety. And I think that's coming also with the construction being off-site. So, and this has also entailed more use of drones, of technology, the way you mentioned it. And I think agile approach, even in construction, is no longer an option. So we're seeing agile in the way we have faster decision, shorter schedule, and use of technology, and better and faster, as I said, decision-making, a new approach in the way the project manager manage a project. So that's in summary what I would like to add.
Thank you, both of you. What do you think are the key opportunities and challenges the project management industry faces, and how should the profession be responding to these?
Okay, that's a good one. I think my answer is similar than the one I've done before. And here I would like to see that these key opportunities or challenges is, we always knew that project management is all about people. It's about people management. We project managers, we understand that we need process, we need tools in order to get that deliverable, but those process and tools, we cannot use it if we don't know how to handle people. Before COVID, maybe we were not so good in handling people, but we were very good in process and tools. So we make it happen. We make things happen. I think the main change now that we are not working with people in the same place, and we are is that. So the challenge and the opportunity is how the new project managers will have 85% of their time focusing on people, and the other 15% can handle with artificial intelligence, new technologies, new way of working. So there are many things that technology will help us, process and tools. But there's one thing that technology is not going to help us, and it's management people, work with people, be very, very successful in make those teams and make things happen. So I think there is the opportunity and the challenge at the same time for any project manager, not just in the construction project, but in any other project. So Grace, anything else from your view?
I think with the schedule being shortened, Pablo, and for everyone who's hearing us, the pressure is on the project management team is to get faster value to the user. And the customer, as we know now, is more, the interaction is higher with the customer, despite the fact that we're going virtual, but the customer collaboration is more emphasized over contract negotiation. And following a plan is no longer the norm. We're responding, project managers are more in a dynamic mode of responding to change. As I said, making better decision with a fewer error and increase trust and have a clear accountability. As I said, despite the fact that we live in a virtual world, we need to have better trust and clear accountability. All of these means better leadership skills, better stakeholders and communication skills. And that's why PMI has released the first certification on effective communication, this just to close the gap of the leadership needs.
Thank you. What is the effect of AI in project management, and will it substitute project management team?
That's a very interesting question, and I've heard that question several times. Many of my colleagues worried about that. Oh, what's going to be my future? I'm not going to have a job anymore because these machines are doing everything for us. So and I think the answer, at least my answer, is a very clear no. That machine, those robots, those artificial intelligence is not going to take the job of the project manager. No. However, project managers will need to adapt, and this is related to my previous answer. So project managers will do those things that the robots will not be able to do, at least in the next years, at least when we be alive in this world. And this is the people management. So the project manager will be taking care of that part of the project, managing people, and we use the help of the technology for all the other automation things like following the process, using new tools, adapt and learn new tools all the time. We will use technology of that. So I'm seeing here the challenge for the project manager is we are gonna start being, all of us, we will need to be IT savvy. We don't need to be programmers. We don't need to be experts in technology, but we need to be very, very familiar with technology. We should know where is that technology, and we need to know which is the right person to use that particular technology. So I'm not seeing a project manager like an old project manager who just have the knowledge of processes and tools. We will all need to have knowledge in technology, in information technology and system, not being experts, far away of being expert. Again, handle the people. So people for the project managers, process and tools for the artificial intelligence and those kind of things. Grace, what else do you have for us?
Yeah, one aspect is the AI, as I mentioned, is very much needed, especially as a main effect of the COVID-19, with the energy and construction companies mainly focusing on creating a safer working environment. And this cannot be accomplished without technology firms helping those companies to better track behavior and prevent accident in real time. So I think this is where also robotics come into play to just perform the automation of repetitive steps, and drones, where again project managers will be focusing more on the leadership skills, on reducing the scope change and better communication and better stakeholder focus. So that's what I would like to add, Pablo.
Yeah, and I would like to add that when the research that we have inside PMI and the research that we see from many other huge companies around the world, they all know about this artificial intelligence and all these changes in robotics and IT, and all of them, we as well, we say, oh, there is still a huge lack of need of project managers. There are much more projects than project managers in the next 20 years, considering all these changes in technology. So even with this huge technology, there is still a need of much more project managers than the one that we have today. This is why in PMI we are accelerating the way of, okay, how we can help more people than just the project managers, how we can help all those other persons who are related in the project. They don't call themselves project managers, but they need these tools in order to make an efficient or a good project at the end. And especially, as I mentioned in my presentation, not just focus on the schedule, make a faster schedule, as Grace was saying, and be care of the budget. The most important thing is that project delivering what they supposed to be delivering? Are they with the objective are they making the objective that they supposed to be doing? And this is something very, very important we should have in mind in our as project managers. Schedule is fine, budget is fine, scope is fine. But there is something much more important, is that we need a project doing what it's supposed to be doing, delivering what it's supposed to be delivering.
Thanks for the answer. And how do technologies like AI help PM professionals when it comes to delays and overspending?
Okay, so could you please repeat that one? How
can technologies such as AI help PM professionals when it comes to delays and overspending, the project managers?
Okay. I think from the side of the artificial intelligence, I'm seeing that it's helping us already. Yeah, we don't need to wait 5 or 10 years already. It's helping us to have lessons learned instantly. Yeah, in the waterfall approach, we were waiting at some parts of the project to have lessons learned, and so next project will be a little better. In the agile way of working, every 15 days or every week, depending on the sprint that we are working, every week or every 15 days, we are getting the lessons learned. With artificial intelligence, we are getting the lessons learned instantly, all the time, every second, by the hour, and helping us to say, okay, next hour, you're going to do this better. Not in the next 15 days or in the next 6 months. So instantly, it's helping, because these robots, they took all the big data, all the information that is happening in the project, and is processing in seconds. And in those seconds, it's giving us lessons learned of how we can do the next step a little better. So that's from the artificial intelligence. And in your question, you were asking about the blockchain as well. And I think in the blockchain, the technology, this is helping us a lot to have a better and faster security of contracts, for example. So we don't need now to be all together in the same place to sign a contract with all the legal signs and all those kind of things. So blockchain is helping us to speed up all those contract process with a very high level of security. So we all know that what we are signing is approved. So the same technology that is using but for blockchain money, yeah, now it has been used for blockchain contracts and those kind of things.
All right.
Grace, what else do you have to add in this one?
Yeah, I think delays in general, delays are caused by inadequate planning, high complexity, scope, design variation, and some others. I think AI is just there to help us reduce uncertainty and therefore prevent versus fix, which better schedule, and definitely reduce the complexity and add more accuracy to the plan. And even at the execution level, you're faster. So I think by all means, AI reduce complexity, as I said, better accuracy and better decision making, and therefore faster schedule delivery.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, both you guys. I think we have only a few minutes left now, so I think we can just take one more question. What does the future hold for project management? Will we see the rise of AI and blockchain technologies playing a role in construction?
From my personal point of view, okay, because now I have two switch hats. One is the PMI hat that I have been using, and this is Pablo hat. For Pablo point of view, I think this is with us to stay. I don't know if it's forever, because it will be something better in 10 years, that the technology that we're seeing today. But yes, I think this is already embedded in the construction sector, and it will stay with us. Yeah, I don't think it came just for COVID, and after COVID we will go back to any other old ways of working. So this is my personal answer. So I don't know, Grace, if you have a PMI view of that question.
I think digitalization and transformation agility will remain. And PMI in its strategy is aligning with the market evolution. And you could see the new and innovative offering. Innovation is at the heart of all of the changes and evolution. And PMI has also accelerated some digital products and offering, one of which is a kickoff. We're giving more case studies, an article. For us, project management is more of a practical side. We need to be faster. We need to make sure that we build leadership skills, more efficient project managers and change makers. So definitely PMI is shaping all of the offerings to align with the changes and evolution. And I invite everyone to look at our new offerings.
Thank you, guys. Thanks again, Pablo and Grace, for your time. It was a great session. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We look forward to seeing you at the Big Five live in person at the Dubai World Trade Center next week from 12th to 15th. Stay safe and goodbye.
Thank you.